Hey, I know it's getting late, man. Everybody's been waiting on me. I'm running a little late. Really been checking on everybody, trying to see what's going on down in Mount Bayou, with my family and stuff. So kind of wanted to check on them. But anyway, as promised, I would come and give you just a little, a little taste of Black history as it's known. You know what I mean? I wanted to find things that were going on around 1865, as promised. Since everybody think that the Emancipation Proclamation freed everybody. The war went on in a lot of places. So I found a little thing in Charleston, South Carolina. First, I want to say, in regards to the raffle, that we have several people who have purchased tickets. Lisa, I will be sending you copies of your 10 ticket. Lisa Riley from Columbus, Ohio. Sandra McCall from London. People from all over. I will be sending you copies of your ticket either tonight or first thing in the morning. Who's the other person? Erica, I will be sending you copies of your 5 tickets in the morning. Michelle A, I think that's it. And I'll be sending you copies of your ticket. What I'll do, I'll either post them in this live or I'll post them with my next post about Juneteenth. And so I wanted to find, in continuation from what I was talking about last night, I wanted to be sure to remind people that we can't forget about our history because other races will erase it. What should I just say? Come out and say white people will erase our history and make it their history. They want us to think that the 4th of July is freedom for us. So I would just really want to find something that will make an impact to just show you how cruel they are. I'm not saying that there are not any good white people, but for the most part, the majority of them don't have our best interests in hand. There are a lot who do, but I can guarantee you that, in regards to all that. What's up, Trey? How you doing, Red? For the most part, they don't have our best interests at hand. Simply meaning that they take what we make and they glorify it and they take ownership of it. You know what I mean? So that's why for so long they kept the Tulsa race riot hid because they couldn't find any way to monetize it. And then they didn't really want the world to know. They didn't really want the world to know how they treated us, in regards to Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? You have a group of black millionaires and you had people who were living where then in Tulsa or Greenwood, Oklahoma, they were living across the track. So this is the first time in history that the U.S. planes dropped dynamite on the black community. I'm not saying that, how you doing, Holly? I'm not saying that to say that that it wasn't publicly known for a lot of people, back then. Like I tell you, it's just so much with history because history didn't spread like that. You know what I mean? In terms of the time, we're talking about the 1800s. So this is 1921. Even though Tulsa, the race riot were in 1921. So I was trying to explain to people how Juneteenth, can easily be forgotten or taken for granted or not. The emphasis not put enough because we should have opportunities to celebrate, Freedom Day for us. And I promised that I would try to find something every week or every day until Juneteenth to, give us cause to celebrate our heritage. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that people really realize how important our heritage is, because if you don't know where you come from and the greatness that you come from, you can't know where you're going. If you think that if you think of yourself the way society during the Jim Crow era, during the black codes, thought of you and made you think of yourself, then you're never going to live up to your full potential until you can think outside the box, learn your history, and know how to navigate from that standpoint. Now, that's not taking away the fact that a lot of people, a lot of whites died with us during our quest for freedom. A lot of people helped us on the Underground Railroad who were not black. You know what I mean? So a lot of whites help us escape to freedom and provided safe havens for us in the North. But there were still a greater number of whites who sought to keep us enslaved physically, and once the Emancipation Proclamation came about, sought to keep us enslaved financially and mentally. You know what I mean? Thus came the 13th Amendment, to where it was even said in the 13th Amendment, neither slavery or involuntary servitude should exist except for a crime or punishment. Thus meaning that they could really enslave us again through crime and punishment. You know what I mean? Thus came the big business of the industrial prison complex, Parchment, Angola, and so many other prisons, you know, around the lower United States. Now, the history that I have for you today is Memorial Day. We take it for granted, and we often wonder, has anybody ever thought about how Memorial Day really came into play? Well, one of the things that I was doing while I was doing my research today, and it just so happened as I was doing my research, Push Black came out. That's why I know Big Brother is watching us. Push Black came out with a whole segment on the history of Memorial Day. If you don't subscribe to Push Black, I suggest that you do, because they give us a lot of history. And one of the things it said that before Memorial Day, as we know it, with the cookouts for Frankie Beverly and Maeve, and said there was a group of black Charlestonians, which is Charleston, South Carolina, who held the first celebration in honor of the Black Lives Lost during the Civil War. Now, this is in, I want to say this was in I know it was in 1865, the same year, but it was a few months prior to Juneteenth. So we still have people who were enslaved in Texas during this time. This is the same time that General Granger was on his way around the Atlantic Ocean to go around the Gulf to let the people in Galveston know they were free. It says the war came to an end. Black Union soldiers who had been captured and then tossed over, who had been captured by the Confederate and then left to die, were tossed into mass grave at what they call a race course, which was converted into the Confederate prison that's on Charleston Island in Charleston, South Carolina. But a group of formerly enslaved black people dug up nearly 300 bodies, determined to create a proper burial site for their people. Then it said just 3 weeks after the defeat of the Confederate, on May 1st, 1865, a group of 10,000 people, mainly the formerly enslaved, gathered in what will become the country's first official Memorial Day parade. Ain't that something? We said May 1865, May 1st, 1865. Remember June 19th, 1865 is when General Granger read the General Order Number 3. It said just 3 weeks after the defeat of the Confederate South, on May 1st, 1865, a group of 10,000 people, mainly formerly enslaved people, gathered in what will become the country's first official Memorial Day parade. In honor of the martyrs of the race course, which the prison was called, our ancestors laid flowers, sang hymns, black pastors delivered sermons, and they barbecued too. But this painful and damning truth isn't the version of Memorial Day the whites wanted, so they rewrote the history. The inaugural black-led celebration was practically erased from the history by the white Charlestonians. You know what I mean? So I think that Memorial Day and Juneteenth is one of the ways that we can see how they would want us to, our history to just practically disappear. You know what I mean? It said, despite the constant erasure of our history, we must continue to honor our ancestors by remembering the truth. And the truth being that we should always celebrate our history, whether it's Juneteenth, Memorial Day. Know the truth behind Memorial Day and why you celebrate it. Know the truth behind Juneteenth and why you celebrate it. Know the truth behind, if you choose to celebrate Kwanzaa and all the other African American holidays. Know the truth behind them before you just celebrate. Take time to learn your history, our history, and world history, so that it give us a sense of pride, and we can teach our kids that, hey, that we were just more than people who invented the cotton gin or Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King. Our history goes back way further than those people that they put in our Black history book, the snippets of history that we got in high school and everything. You know what I mean? I think it should be mandatory, especially in Mount Bayou, that we have after school Black history courses so we can teach about the Black civilizations that were in Egypt and Africa and all over the world. What's up, brother? How you doing? And so, how mama and them doing down there? I know that side of town kind of flooded. So are they okay? Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure, man, that we know our history. That as General Granger was on his way to tell the people in Galveston that they were free, here we have people in May, 3 weeks before it actually became the last Monday in May, before it became a holiday. 3 weeks later, which is the last week, I don't know what specific day, whatever it was, I'll take the calendar. I get the calendar and see when May 1st was, 1865, where it shows that May 1st, 1865, we had the first Memorial Day celebration. But it was to honor the people who were in the Confederate prison that once the war was over, they decided to kill all the blacks who were captured during the Civil War and kill them and put them all in a mass grave. They don't tell us about that. You know what I mean? You never heard about that in history. But when you go to Charleston, you'll see it. If you dig a little bit deeper in our history, you'll see how, that's a true and known fact. If they had never shared the experiences or people hadn't passed down the story of Black Wall Street orally, we would never know about it. If people never passed down the history of Elaine, Arkansas, we would never know about it. You know what I mean? If people never passed down the history of Kent State, you know what I mean? We would never know about it. When the National Guard went in and the students went down to protest, they had a peaceful protest at Kent State, and the National Guard opened fire, shooting all of these students in the back. For real? and he goes by the name of what? Lethal? I know they was trying to get it campaign so the storm actually helped them, huh? Okay. All right. So we're going to see what happens, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, Lethal. What about the Board of Aldermen? That's a new day to celebrate, man, so, hey, I'm riding with whatever, man. I just knew. They got our roads closed from over here at work, so we couldn't go home. I couldn't go home in order to be able to vote, but I'm glad enough people got out to vote. And I'm glad that he stayed diligent during the storm, during the tragedy that was going on in Mount Bayou, and out of how can I say it? There's beauty out of ashes. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that that's beautiful, man. I'm gonna give you a call about that too. So yeah, I'm happy for that. But anyway, man, we just gotta, he just made history. So he's another part. He's part of the legacy, of I.T. Montgomery, Ben Green, and all the people who were mayors, Wesley Liddell, Earl Lucas. So Mayor Johnson, Darrell Johnson, Kent Johnson, and the whole line that was before him. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can get together and we can build, and hoping he can stay on the same track and keep us in line and bring us back and restore us to greatness. Maybe we can do some things in the town. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, man. People are just tired of the same old thing, I guess, you know. So I just wanted to be able to have somebody that would listen to us so we can get back to that great state that we were once were. There's no way that we should be flooded. You know what I mean? All right, man. I appreciate it too, man. Yeah, but you know, as I was saying, man, we have to remember that Juneteenth is coming, and we got to get together. Hey, what's up, man? I was just speaking about you yesterday. I was telling people how this is my brother that you see on Demetrius X, man. He started the line salute and salute 2119, and it was about Black Wall Street. It's in remembrance of those whose lives were lost in Black Wall Street, all that they accomplished. So his clothing line is dedicated to that. If you get a chance, man, post your link, you know, while I'm doing the live, Demetrius, so you can know people can see it and I can share it. And I'll be able to, you know, or send me the link somewhere, DM me the link so I can put it on my page and I can share it, you know, at least once a week, man, until we get it out there. 2 Black is on his way. 2 Black will be here before Juneteenth. So what I'm doing, Demetrius, I'm raffling off 3. If you look on my page, you'll see where I'm raffling off 3 Juneteenth shirts. You know what I mean? It's just to help fight mass incarceration. You know what I mean? Now you can donate one of those suits, man. Maybe in one of those suits that maybe I can do as an additional gift. You know what I mean? As part of the raffle, but it's to help me and Brother James Jones. I don't know if you remember him. He was at Yazoo Low with us and stuff. And then he used to work in Unicourt too, out on the floor. He was a QA. But anyway, we're doing that too. We got a little podcast that we do, the Real Business Center. I know you've been seeing it. But, you know, it's him and a young lady from Breaking Silence, which is Lisa Riley. So we just, you know, we try to fight and help free our brothers and sisters that we left behind. You know what I mean? It costs to work on people's freedom, man. So I just want to give back in that way. And I just want to always stay diligent, man, and help bringing them home, you know, by any means necessary. Under the grips, there's no reason that we should still have any people that's serving 101 sentence, man, that who hasn't got the second chance or the first step or the 2 points, who are still incarcerated. There's no way, man, we should still have people. So if you get a chance, brother, let me just post your link in so I can give a salute, a big shout out. You know what I mean? Man, I'm talking about a beautiful brother, man. You know, he's with the Nation of Islam, man. And he and I were part of the first Toastmaster that was started at Yazoo. Powerful speaker, man, in his own right, long before Toastmaster, but Toastmaster is sharpened, you know, he and I skill, you know, to the point to where we blaze the trail. The Toastmasters Inside Out is still alive in effect, you know what I mean? So I like to say we laid the foundation for that. I don't know if the one I started in Beaumont is still alive and in effect. I know the one in Yazoo, you know, is still alive and in effect. And what we're going to do, we're working on with Godboat. So make sure that you reach out and send Godboat a link. We're trying to have a Toastmaster reunion of all the brothers who were in Toastmaster with Eric Tapscott. We caught up with him, Byron Cheatham, and some of the other brothers, you know, who were part of our Toastmasters group. We've been reaching out, so we were just working on a day that we're all going to get on and have a Zoom call or, you know, a group chat or whatever, just so we can just see how we can give back through Toastmasters, or maybe we can start our own group, maybe a Zoom Toastmaster on the outside. You know, Toastmaster really helped a lot of brothers, you know what I mean, on the inside, and a lot of them have gotten out and they're still participating. I haven't found a club that, Michael Rudisill, you know, he's part of a Toastmaster on the outside. And so that's just one of the things that we build on the inside, man, and we came out and we're still building. So I'm proud of you, brother. Just keep on doing what you do. Anyway, back to the Juneteenth. I'm wrapping off 2 large Juneteenth shirts and 1 extra large shirt. You know, you can see it. I got the link posted. I got my Cash App and my PayPal posted. And I'm going to post them every day. You know, I'm going to raffle them off live on Juneteenth, and I'm going to ship them out to, you know, the people. I'm going to try to have a picture of them where I can put them up. Hey, what's up, chap? You know what I mean? It's my co-worker, man, beautiful brother who did time. I'm always inspired by his story because, you know, like you and I, Demetrius, he went in as a teenager, man, and God blessed him with his freedom. And so now he's the supervisor of the chapel here at MSP Parchment. And man, I learned so much from him. It's just like you. You know, I'm older than him. You and him about the same age. But man, I'm telling you, equally sharp. You know what I mean? On the same plane. So there's no, one day, man, I'm going to have to get all of us in the same room. And you can see his testimony in the miracle of hope. And, you know, whatever you want to hear, I share it with you, man. I'm going to share it on my page at least once a month until people can really see the change that an incarcerated person can come out and make. You know what I mean? And how we can change the world, man, if they give us an opportunity, man. There's so many brothers that we left behind like us. You know what I mean? Who are still incarcerated, that has just as much potential as us and are deserving to be free of the unjust and unjust laws that continues to enslave them on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And that's what Juneteenth was about. Even though freedom may have came late, it was still freedom, no doubt. And like I tell people, it was so much going on, man, that the Emancipation Proclamation didn't free us in that instant. It wasn't just a snap, free all, you know, I signed this paper, now all the slaves are free. How you going to get the word out? How did the Union get the word out? The South did just lay down arms and quit fighting. General Lee, too black, too strong. That's what I like to say, chap. Too black, too strong. And, man, the South didn't just give up. They were still fighting in the Carolinas. They were still fighting here in Mississippi. Like I told you, the Army of the TransUnion Mississippi was still fighting in Vicksburg. You know what I mean? Until Robert E. Lee surrendered in what, April 1865. You talking about 16 months after the Emancipation Proclamation. So they were still fighting to hold on to their slave. That's what people don't realize, man. These people were still fighting to keep us enslaved, just like they still fight to keep it through all the motions, through all the legal, the police brutality and the killings that we see going on around the world. These people still fight to keep our juveniles enslaved and our men and women enslaved, man, in an unjust system. You look at all the other countries in the world, man, for homicide, the max punishment is 20 years, man. There's no reason that a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, or any teenager should get a life sentence, man. There's nowhere. You know, so his mind is not even developed, man. And Miller versus Alabama has showed that. But they're fighting tooth and nail, man, to keep our children incarcerated, man. So what they're doing now, they're getting slick. They're giving them, instead of giving them a life sentence, at 14, they're giving them 60 years, 70 years. The average lifespan of an African-American is only, 75 years. So they're getting slick and trying to get around Miller versus Alabama and giving them time in years, man. And giving them, like, instead of giving them a life sentence, you know what I mean? They're giving them 60 years, 70 years. You know what I mean? Or giving them 40 and then giving them a 30-year concurrent. So after you do the 40, he got to do the 30. So they're getting around the life sentence. You know what I mean? So we got to be, we got to beware of the wily and the cunning of our oppressor. You know what I mean? We got to look behind the scenes and see what they're doing to our children and see what they're doing to our black youth, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's giving them no hope when they see their dad's incarcerated, their mom's incarcerated. I'm not making an excuse for the violence that's going on in the street, but we got to step up as men and get them something to do in the community in order to take their mind off of not loving themselves. Once they don't love themselves, there's no way that he can love the person that he sees. He always sees everybody as his enemy. So we got to stop him from seeing, or them from seeing us as enemies. You know what I mean? You know, it's like they're out there raising themselves and they have no respect for life. You know, and the only way, the same way, even though, you know, you're in the nation, I'm a Christian, Demetrius, the only way we did that, man, we showed the people, we led them to the word of God, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we got to do to our kids in the street, man. We got to somehow find them and guide them in the ways and show that they can be something other than a thug, a gangster, or someone who kills and destroys. You know, we got to breathe life into them. You know what I mean? And what better way to do it than to take some of the ones that we got incarcerated and free them and change their mindset and let them pour life into our own kids. Yeah. Again, post your link, Demetrius. I'm going to read this poem, man. I'm going to be through. It's going to be, this one I wrote for Juneteenth, probably about, I think I was in that little section of 23 and 1 during those 18 months. It was either 2014 or 2015. It had to be 2015, Juneteenth. You know what I mean? But it's called Free at Last. You know, I always try to picture myself and what I would be doing during those times, you know, when I write my poetry. So it's called Free at Last. I hate reading it, you know what I mean? But I hadn't memorized this one yet. You know, I just had it. Same thing where I had a hand scribble on while I was in the shoe. But it's called Free at Last. It says, on the corner of Market and Main, another toll bell rang, set to auction off another soul, to travel down the torturous journey down tobacco's road, toiling and planting and harvesting the wealth of master's crop. He spilled the blood of a free man into America's soil. The running vines of freedom sprout throughout the East. On those vines, the buds of hope pollinate, fertilizing the minds of the oppressed. A new Negro is born, one who thinks he should be free, free to speak his own mind, free to eat of fruit, free to eat of freedom's vine, free to be free. The legend of freedom grows. It lies north, beyond where the cold wind blows. Songs are made to give strength and direction to the brave, brave enough to leave under the cloak of night. Freedom. Freedom's reward is now greater than man's fright. Scientists and astronomers are born. Stars guide as their bodies get warm. Sambo sits in the yard, holding the lantern of faith, confirmation he's on the right path. And soon, he will arrive at the place where his journey has ended, and he can finally say, it's Juneteenth, and I'm free at last. It's Juneteenth, and I'm free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Just a little Juneteenth poem I wrote, man, while I was incarcerated. Thinking about all that we went through on the Underground Railroad, trying to get to freedom, you know, trying to live through freedom. You know what I mean? I'll try to find some of the ones that I wrote geared towards Juneteenth and history, or just might be one, you know, liberty and justice for all or something. You know, a lot of my poems, you know, just had hidden meaning, and you have to look through the lines to just kind of see. But I really appreciate you guys for joining me, man. I thank you. Don't forget to get your ticket. And like I said, I'll take pictures of the ones who have bought tickets and show you and send you their copies and stuff. You know, but get your ticket, man. Get your ticket, get your shirts. Hopefully by Thursday I'll be able to hold up the shirts with the labels and everything on them. You know what I mean? I got this fantastic artist creating them. Jessica, yeah, you. Creating them, so they'll be ready. And don't forget, Demetrius, send me a picture of your jogging suits that represents Tulsa. Salute 2119. In remembrance of those who died at the hands of our government, you know, on at Black Wall Street on May 1921, right? Yeah. So just or June 1st, between May 31st and June 1st, 1921. You know, but Juneteenth, man, happy Juneteenth. So we're on the way to celebrating. Take care, man. Love you guys, man. Be easy. Happy Juneteenth.